Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man, sometimes myth, but always a legend, Mr. Josh Homme is here.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. It's 27 after 58 in the hour. Your drive time commute on a Thursday.
Dude, I'm gonna get to other careers for you, but thank you for that. That was a great demo. You ever thought about radio?
I do. I think about it often.
What about a career on it?
No, I had a little show for a second, which I enjoyed on Apple Music.
Yeah, you did Apple, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, there's lots to talk about. Can we start with, and I hope you take this the right way, you look remarkably well.
No.
I know you've had a few medical things going on, and maybe you touch on that, maybe you don't, but it's been nice to see you on the promo trail over the past few months.
Oh, yeah, I feel really well. I'm doing well. I'm really, life is good,
Okay.
you know? And it's nice to be able to appreciate things,
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
Yeah.
So I've really been, had a lot of joy lately.
Good. I'm glad. I'm happy to hear it.
Thank you.
Can we talk Alive in the Catacombs first of all then?
Yeah, well, you know, I think especially given the moment, no one, and given all the buildup of 18 years of trying to get into the catacombs, that once we went down that spiral staircase into the catacombs, that no one was coming out till it was done.
Good.
You know?
Yeah. And for anyone who doesn't know, by the way, maybe you've never been to Paris, I guess it's one of the main features. I mean, I've been a couple of times actually over the years. It's essentially where I think in the late 1700s, they started putting all the bodies.
True.
When the cemeteries had started overflowing, they didn't have anywhere to put them. So now there's 5-6 million skeletal remains below Paris, and you can visit. And it's quite extraordinary.
It really is. It's you know, I always like where one thing ends and the other begins. That transition seems to be where all the nutrients are in life. And experiencing death, but done in this artistic and respectful manner, is a transition I hadn't really experienced in such a intense manner. You know, when you're down there all day, and when you've kind of fantasized about going there, it's different once you're in there.
Yeah.
You know, so it was actually wonderful. You know, nobody stacks this many skeletons unless they have a reverence and a love for life.
Yeah.
And us performing in there, it's not happy and fun, but it's not sad either. It's just intense.
Yeah.
And I think that space is so overwhelming that we really play second fiddle to that location. And I enjoy that as well. I enjoy taking a back seat to something beautiful. It's actually a total gift.
So it started out as an EP and film, of course, which was done last year, and it's out now. You can listen to the EP, you can watch the film. You're now taking it out on tour. So it started out as 4 tracks, and you've obviously extended that. 5 tracks, yeah, and you've extended that out. And was that difficult to try and figure out which songs you were going to do?
I think what it really is it starts an idea of what if you took the songs that you had as they were and said, okay, we can't do that, and just rewrote them and reimagined them. And that's rather enjoyable. And I also think, you know, we play quiet and we play loud, but by nature of loud, sometimes it drowns the quiet out. And I think those sentiments that are done in quiet are oftentimes a little heavier than this loud, heavy music.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice to be able to shed some light on some of the more introspective sides of, I'm in this band, and it's nice to shed some light on that introspective side of this band.
Yeah, right. Okay. Light and shade.
Yeah.
Nice.
Chiaroscuro.
And he's a man of many languages. You're going to play Royal Albert Hall in October, which for me is my favourite venue on earth. I've never got to play the Bataclan or the Catacombs, and I don't think there's ever been anywhere that I've been on this planet that's as good as the Royal Albert Hall. In your experience, is there somewhere that's better than the Royal Albert Hall? Is there somewhere that is the definitive venue?
Well, you know, I don't know. I don't have the same urge to pick one. I think Royal Albert Hall, which is hard for me to say for some reason, Royal Albert Hall.
There you go. You got it.
Is just one of those classics.
Yeah.
That enormous organ, if you don't mind me saying, that's in there.
It's a pleasure.
But also how does it compare to playing in Lyon at a Roman amphitheater on the hill overlooking the river and the city?
Yeah.
And so, and you start saying, rather than pick one, I'd rather just shuffle them all together and get the sort of chance. There's a theater at the Acropolis, at the base of the Acropolis. And so I think you start having this desire to seek out places like this and get the chance to hear your music bounce off the halls of these, off the walls, off the pillars, off the, it's
washed in history.
the venues are more historic than any individual show most of the time. And so I think you just want to, there's this desire to leave your musical imprint on the walls.
Yeah. And that leads us nicely on to the Rock and Roll Circus. Two dates in South Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. Did you see that? Did you imagine that sort of selling out? Because I know you were in that situation where it was due to phenomenal demand, a second date has been added.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, England is always, we've had such a great relationship with the UK and with Britain. And so, and also, really, because I really just want to go to all the Arctic Monkeys guys' childhood homes.
You're going to do a tour.
And take pictures and then send it to them. So that's what I intend on doing. And it was like, what's the best way to do this? And it's nice that those one blew out and turned into two. It's a good lineup. It's a really good lineup.
So the 27th sold out. 28th of August, there are still tickets. And Viagra Boys.
But not many.
Fat
so
Dog.
If you're going to go, you better go now.
Jenny Beth, get them while they're hot. Shame. It is an incredible lineup. Can I ask, is it something you put together? Is that what you wanted to do?
I mean, that was sort of the worm on the hook for us, as it was like, if you play this, you can pick the lineup.
Great.
And there's Big Freedia, who's an incredible performer, the Viagra Boys, of Jenny Beth, so good, who's local here to London. And it's quite a day.
About 2 months ago, we had some Swedish action on the Radio X Evening Show. We had the Hives on.
Oh, I love the Hives.
Who were very, very complimentary about you. In fact, they've got a nickname for you. Do you know your nickname?
No.
The Vibe Master 2000. Yeah?
The Vibe Master 2000.
That's oh my God, that's a great impression.
I just saw Pele a couple days ago.
Did you? Okay, yeah.
It was very lovely. He flew out to Copenhagen to see us play.
Ah, nice.
Yeah,
they were good guys. They were really good. But they were talking about how kind of influential you were on this new album they've got coming out, in a week's time, really?
Yeah, it's a great record.
Yeah.
I got the luxury of hearing it, very early on, and Pele, who is just one of the great humans on the planet.
Yeah.
And if not the best frontman, just one of the top, tied for first.
It's extraordinary,
It's out of control.
Yeah.
In fact, they're one of those bands that you got to be really careful when you play with them because they will blow you away. And so you really need to watch them and say, dear God, here we go. You know, you need to think about what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And but I got to hear, he was like, I just want to play you some of these and just we'll talk about them before they're finished. And so I was just absolute gift to be able to hear their new record way early and then chat about it.
Yeah.
I
love the fact that the two filters for this new album were you and Benny from ABBA. Did you know that?
I heard about that. Yeah.
And I was thinking actually, because we had Matt and Alex from Arctic Monkeys on this show years ago, and they were always talking about the importance of you in their lives as well. But I wonder, is there someone that you have in your life who plays that role? Who's your Vibe Master 2000?
Well, I mean, it's no secret I'm a fan of Iggy and Depeche Mode and and I really love my peers. I love Alex and Matt and the Hives and Grohl has always been an artistic foil of mine that I love and look, I miss Lemmy. I miss sitting backstage and listening to whatever Lemmy had to say.
Yeah.
But I think and if I'm honest, like Sebastian from the Viagra Boys is just is an inspiration as well, and Allison from the Kills, St. Vincent, Annie is also an inspiration.
Yeah,
her new record's awesome. And actually, something I learned from Alex was always, if anyone ever questioned, was this an influence on you, and trying to get him to bite in a negative way, he just always was just so matter of fact, like, no, I love this. I love Queens. I love this. I respect that so much. I think it's important to acknowledge when your peers are awesome.
Amen. I guess you touched on Lemmy a bit there, and I was thinking a little bit about Ozzy Osbourne as well.
Oh, yeah.
When we were kind of prepping the interview, you did bits and bobs with Ozzy over the years. How did that affect you when he passed away a couple of weeks ago?
Well, I think it was such a poetic ending to just a career that you just can't take your eyes and ears off of.
Yeah.
I mean, I could watch Ozzy do anything. Well, almost anything. But I if he was squeezing orange juice, I'd be like, we should watch this. Something beyond juice is coming. I just think he's a classic, and I think his passing was poetic, and I feel for the family because that's such a loss. But I also think that I believe that they see the poetry in that too.
Yeah.
I think David Bowie's passing was that those are two poetic ways to go.
Yeah. I know you're not in town for very long.
True.
But I just wondered, we are having what we like to call an Oasis summer right now. Are you an Oasis fan? Have you been to any shows? Because I was kind of thinking about Lars from Metallica, who is the world's biggest Oasis fan. Did you know this?
Right.
I mean, he's already
didn't know that.
I think he's already been to 3 shows.
Nice.
And he's a huge fan. Are you a Liam and Noel fan? Have you played with those guys? Is there anything like?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've had the luxury of spending some late nights with both of those boys.
Well, they like that.
And I must say, they give good conversation.
Yeah.
There's kind of it's one of the great places to be. I love Oasis.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting. People often ask me about the state of rock and roll, and which I find useless and annoying. I look at what's happening with Oasis, and I just point to it and say, voila.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to catch the show in LA. I think I'm going to be home in time, and I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Love Oasis.
Yeah, nice. Okay, listen, I just want to recap on what we said about the Rock and Roll Circus in Sheffield. 27th is gone. That's a done deal. There are just a few tickets left for the 28th if you want to catch it. Please, if you haven't yet, go and listen to Alive in the Catacombs. Watch the movie. Watch the film. The one thing I will end on, though, is this, and this is what I wanted to come back to. We started with careers. Lovely live demo to be a radio presenter. Let me ask you this. There's a part of me, as I'm watching you Alive in the Catacombs, and I thought to myself, we've got an actor here. This guy's an actor. Have you ever acted? Have you ever wanted to act?
I do stuff with my friends. Like I've been on Toast to London, and I've done, it's mostly comedy stuff, Portlandia, things like that when friends of mine ask. It's not really my aspiration. And I was doing anything but acting in the catacombs. I was just hanging on for dear life.
Presence. The presence was there.
So I think, I have this, I think it's interesting when actors want to play music, people have a very difficult time with that. And perhaps the reason is because people want their actors to be characters that they are not, and that one maybe wishes they could be or aspire to.
Yeah.
But I think, but they don't want them to act like a musician because there's I believe, a necessity to just be yourself, and it must be real. I know there are bands that manufacture things, and bands are put together, and people that seek to just get big, and I understand that, but I don't really know much about that.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm trying to do. And so I think, when you see somebody in the desperate throngs of trying to figure out who they are and be themselves, I think that resonates, and so thank you, I guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's welcome back here anytime. As you did hear, he could potentially be a radio DJ for us at some point. That was the one and only Josh Homme.
Cheers.
Radio X.